Yo, what's up, guys? My name is Nicholas Earl, and welcome back to another episode of Earl Sports Bets. And today we have a monster college basketball slate here. I got 17 plays for today's slate. I had up to 23, but I cut it a couple short because 23 is way too many. But I have 17 plays here for you guys. So let's get right into this monster slate. Our first game is actually not till 2 o'clock. We'll be looking at first game here will be right here. William Mary traveling to Hofstra. It's an 11-point spread, minus 625 for Hofstra, plus 485 run back for William and Mary. And we're going to be looking at the plus 11 points. It was actually pretty good. I originally had this at plus 10.5, so the lines moved half a point in our favor here, and we are looking at William Mary. The line, my model has this at Hofstra winning by 4.4 points, which creates 6.6 points of value on this line. So monster value here. We have plenty of those spots, but there's a lot of value on this slate. So our first bet of this monster slate is William and Mary plus 11. Next game we have is Clemson heading to Miami. It's a 4-point spread, minus 180 for Clemson, plus 160 for Miami. And we're going to be looking at Clemson here at minus 4. My model has Clemson winning by 9.5 points here, creating 5.5 points of value on this line. So we'll be looking to take the Clemson Tigers here to beat Miami, Florida. All right, next game is at 4 o'clock. There's, I think, like 70, 80 games today. It's a lot of games. But our next game here is at 4 o'clock, if I can find it, because there's a lot of games to go over. Here we go. West Virginia heads to Oklahoma to take on the Sooners, 1-point spread. And then minus 118, minus 102 money line. And we are going to be looking at West Virginia plus 1 here. My model has them to win by 3.7 points, which creates 4.7 points of value on this line. So we'll be looking at the Mountaineers to beat the Sooners today in Oklahoma. Next game we have Colorado State heading to San Diego State. This is a 8-point spread, minus 400 plus 320 run back. And we'll be looking at Colorado State here coming off of back-to-back wins versus Fresno State. They head to San Diego State and they're 8-point dogs. My model has them at, trying to find it. All right, here. My model has this as a 1-point game, so 7 points of value on this line for Colorado State. So this is potentially a 2-unit bet for me. So we're looking at Colorado State here plus 8 versus San Diego State and potentially plus 320, but I don't know if I'm going to go that far. Potentially, but I don't know. Next game we're going to look at here is Butler taking on Seton Hall. It is a 9-point spread, minus 460 for Seton Hall, plus 370 for Butler. Butler's not looked great the last few games. But my model has this as a Seton Hall win by only 2.8 points, creating a nice 6.2 points of value on this line. So Butler producing a very nice play today at plus 9. I think it's just too many points here against Seton Hall. So, and I believe last time these two teams played, they played close. So we'll be taking the Butler Bulldogs to beat the Pirates of Seton Hall, or not to beat them, but to cover the 9-point spread. Alright, that was a 4:30 game. Now we're looking at 5 o'clock games. We got a couple of them. Alright, let's see. First one here is Eastern Illinois taking on Tennessee Tech. 7.5-point spread, minus 325 for Eastern Illinois, plus 270 for Tennessee Tech. And we'll be looking at Eastern Illinois here, minus 7.5. My model has this at a minus 12.5 for Eastern Illinois, creating 5 points of value on that line. So we'll be looking to take Eastern Illinois here to take care of business against Tennessee Tech. Next, we have Morehead State taking on Murray State. It is a 13.5 point spread. And one thing I've noticed when betting Morehead State this year is they're good at covering these really large plus dogs. So we'll be taking the plus 13.5 here and running with it here with Morehead State. My model has this at a 7.5 point win for Murray State. So 6 points of value on this line. So we'll be looking at Morehead State here to cover a really big plus 13.5 point line. Alright, keep going down. We have next St. Bonaventure taking on Richmond. Is a 5 point spread, minus 220 for St. Bonaventure, plus 190, but for Richmond, plus 190 for St. Bonaventure. And we're going to be looking at the Bonnies here. St. Bonaventure, plus 5. My model has this at exactly a 0, so a pick 'em. So potentially a plus 190 with no value. A 0 point value line at plus 190. I'll take a coin toss at plus 190 most likely, just because that's just a value bet. So we'll say with the plus 190 as well for that line. So we'll be looking at St. Bonaventure to beat Richmond today, and cover that plus 5 point spread. Next, we have Eastern Tennessee State here taking on NC Greensboro. 7 point dogs here for Eastern Tennessee State. Minus 300 for Greensboro, plus 250 for Eastern Tennessee State. And we're going to be looking at Eastern Tennessee here. They are my top value play of the day at plus 7. My model has them losing by 0.4 points. So potentially money line as well at plus 250. And potentially a nice win here. 6.6 points of value, so the highest value on the slate. So we're looking at Eastern Tennessee State here against NC Greensboro. All right. Now we have Denver traveling to South Dakota. It is a 9 point spread. Minus 550 for South Dakota, plus 430 for Denver. And we're gonna be looking at betting Denver here at that plus 9 tag. My model has this as should be plus 4, a 4 point game. South Dakota, this is just a little bit too many points for them. So we'll be taking Denver here plus 9 versus South Dakota. Next we have Eastern Kentucky taking on Austin Peay. It's a 4.5 point spread, which actually has moved in our favor a little bit because I had this as minus 5 for Austin Peay, and we're looking to bet them here at minus 4.5. My model has them winning by 9.8 points, which is now 5.3 points of value on that line. So Austin Peay here against Eastern Kentucky looks like a good play. Next, we have 6 o'clock games, I believe. Yep, 6 o'clock games where we have not that one. Here we go. Our first 6 o'clock game on the slate is Illinois taking on Purdue. 8.5 point spread. Minus 425 for Purdue, plus 345 for minus 425 for Illinois, plus 345 for Purdue, and we are looking at betting the Fighting Illini here at minus 8.5. My model has them winning by 13.3 points, creating a nice 4.8 points, 4.8 points of value on that line. So we're looking at the Fighting Illini here, minus 8.5. Next, we have Southeast Missouri State taking on Tennessee State here. And this is another line that's moved in our favor here. I had it at minus 2. It's minus 1.5. Now, we are looking to take Southeast Missouri State SEMO, my model has them winning by 6.9 points. Nice. Creating 5.4 points of value on this line here at the -1.5. So we're looking at Southeast Missouri State versus Tennessee State. Next we have Indiana State taking on Missouri State. And this is a 4.5 point spread, -205, +175 for Indiana State. And we are looking at Indiana State with the spread and on the money line. My model has them winning by 0.8 points here. So 0.8 points of value on a +175 line. I am loving that. We will take Indiana State here to win this game and to cover that +4.5 point spread. Next, we have actually our second highest value play of the day here. We have We have Kentucky traveling to Mississippi State. 2-point spread, -130, +110 run back. And we're going to be taking here Kentucky -2. This is going to be a 2-unit play here. My model has them winning by 8.6 points. And hopefully they'll get off their stride here and actually win a game. So we'll be taking the Wildcats here, -2 against Mississippi State. All right. And we have 2 games remaining, a 7:30 game and a 10 o'clock game. Let's head down to the 7:30 game where Loyola Chicago takes on North Texas here. It is a 7.5 point spread, -330, +275 run back. And we are going to be looking at North Texas here with that +7.5 points. My model has them losing by 2.6 points, creating a 4.9 points of value on this line. So a nice value here for North Texas here against Loyola Chicago. And our final game of the video here is Stanford heading to Oregon. And this is another line that's moved in our favor here. I originally had it written down at -5.5. Now it is -5. We're taking the Oregon Ducks here, -5. My model has them winning by 10.2 points, creating 5.2 points of value on this line. So we'll be looking to take the Oregon Ducks here, -5. Ooh, made it through all those games. Let's recap what we have, and then we're going to head on out for this video. We have William and Mary +11 versus Hofstra. We have Clemson -4 versus Miami, Florida. Scrolling down, we have West Virginia +1 versus Oklahoma. Colorado State +8 versus San Diego State. Butler +9 versus Seton Hall. Eastern Tennessee -7.5 versus Tennessee Tech. Morehead State +13.5 versus Murray State. St. Bonaventure +5 and the +190 on the money line versus Richmond. Eastern Tennessee State +7 and +250 on the money line against NC Greensboro. We're going to have Denver +9 against South Dakota. Eastern Kentucky will fall, and Austin Peay will cover the 4.5 point spread. The Fighting Illini take care of business against Purdue, covering the 8.5 point spread. SEMO takes care of Tennessee State and covers the -1.5. Indiana State pulls the upset and covers the +4.5 and the +175 money line. Kentucky covers the -2 and finally gets a win. North Texas keeps it close and covers against Loyola Chicago. And Oregon beats Stanford and covers the -5 spread. If this information was helpful to you guys at all, feel free to hit that thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe to the channel and have your post notifications turned on so you guys are notified every single time we come out with a video here at Real Sports Bets. We have daily content from a number of different sports, from the NFL, college basketball, college football, UFC, esports, NBA, WNBA, NHL, MLB. So we have tons of content we're coming out with every single day. So be sure you're subscribed and have your notifications on so you know exactly when we come out with those videos. But that is going to just about do it for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Let's cash some tickets here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.